As we know, Tesla just updated the Model 3 in some big ways, and they're always updating their cars. This time, the 2021 Model 3 will stand out from the 2020 Model 3, but usually they just make minor updates throughout the year and don't hold to any yearly release cycle. For the Model 3, there were clues, and I speculated that waiting would be the best option, since many new updates were going to come at once this time, and it happened to come true. Tesla increased the range of the Model 3 by 31 miles, seemingly with software as well as the heat pump taken from the Model Y. They added the standard matte black trim, redesigned the center console, and more. Now, some of these changes were taken from the Model Y and integrated back into the Model 3, simplifying production and parts between the two cars, but these updates also made the Model 3 better and dealt with frequent customer complaints. So the question is, even though the Model Y has been out for less than a year, when will Tesla refresh the Model Y, and what will they add? Well, we have some very interesting updates, so let's get into it. We'll start with some obvious changes we all expect, and then get into the leaked updates we just recently heard about that we haven't been expecting. The most obvious things we're expecting Tesla to add to the Model Y are the things the Model 3 now has that the Y doesn't. So the new updated center console is likely coming in the Model Y in a matter of months. It finally gets rid of the glossy piano black console and gets rid of those plastic doors, which, depending on who you ask, could make it feel like kind of a cheap interior. The new console also features a sliding door for storage and relocates the USB ports, which are reportedly high-powered USB-C ports that could be getting rid of USB-A entirely. Additionally, Tesla is adding a fifth USB-C port inside the glove box for the Sentry mode dashcam drive, as well as an included USB storage drive to save those clips. So instead of buying your own SSD after the fact, the Model 3, and presumably the Model Y soon, will come with an included drive that can be hidden away from access inside the glove box. This is a great feature since currently, if someone is breaking in and knows where to look for a Sentry mode drive, there's really nothing preventing them from taking it, and taking your footage with it. In the new Model 3 and Model Y soon to come, it'll be stashed inside the locked glove box, which is much harder to access. In the new Model 3, Tesla added double-paned windows to help deal with the excess wind noise that was common on the Model 3. We haven't actually seen this in production yet, so we can't truly compare, but it has been reported from multiple sources, and it just popped up for the Model Y as well. Reportedly, the Model Y now being produced now comes with laminated glass, thanks to this photo from Pirate43 on Reddit, showing his recently delivered Model Y with a VIN in the upper 63,000s. This double-paned laminated glass is presumably exactly what they'll be moving to on the Model 3 and should help make it safer and eliminate wind noise. This is something I definitely wish my Model Y had, since wind noise is a bit more present than I'd expect, so I'm glad to see them already producing Model Ys with it. This is only one photo posted on Reddit, so we'll wait on the final consensus until we see it from more people, but it seems so specific that there'd be really no reason to post it if it isn't true. The last Model 3 update we're expecting in the Model Y soon is Emea Headlights. This stands for Europe, Middle East, and Africa and refers to higher quality headlights that are available on European vehicles that are equipped with them. According to Forbes, AAA research found that European vehicles equipped with the advanced headlight technology, a system that continuously adjusts high beams to adapt their beam patterns to improve illumination without causing glare, increase roadway lighting by as much as 86% when compared to US. Essentially, they're super advanced auto brights that continue to illuminate the road but don't shine directly in the view of another car. I'm actually pretty interested to see Tesla implement this in the Model 3 and the Model Y, because for me the auto brights sometimes are a little too sensitive or not sensitive enough, and I feel like I'm bothering the other drivers around me. So those updates seem imminent, coming in a matter of weeks or months on the Model Y, since they are now included on all Model 3s currently being produced at Fremont, and it wouldn't really make logistical sense for Tesla to update those on the Model 3 but not on the Model Y. Also, historically, this is what they do, so it's nothing new. And now we're getting into leaks given to us by @GreenTheOnly on Twitter. @GreenTheOnly is a Tesla software hacker who has given us many reliable clues in the past by diving deep into each software version that Tesla puts out. For the Model Y specifically, we have some pretty big updates that honestly, if they came to be, I wish I had on my Model Y. But that's how it goes buying a new product, and especially buying a product from a company who is constantly upgrading like Tesla does. First up, the biggest one and the one you may have heard about already, Tesla may be adding the HEPA filter into the Model Y. This filter is incredibly large, and it's what enables the Model S and the Model X to have what Tesla calls bioweapon defense mode. This mode removes, quote, at least 99.97% of fine particulate matter and gaseous pollutants, as well as bacteria, viruses, pollen, and mold spores. In the Model 3, Tesla went with a more standard filter, mentioning that if they put the HEPA filter in there would be no room for actual frunk storage. And they did the same in the Model Y since they're so similar. This has led many customers, including myself, to install third-party HEPA filters to get closer to this bioweapon defense mode. Especially in areas like California with lots of wildfires, these third-party filters do a great job, and you can check them out from Teslarati in the link in the description below. But sometime in the near future, it looks like the Model Y will be getting Tesla's official bioweapon defense mode with the HEPA filter. I assume it would be the same filter from the Model S and X, and since the Model Y is quite a bit larger than the Model 3, they can make space for it. Real quick, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to subscribe to this channel for a lot more videos like this, and hit that thumbs up. The next leak has to do with the suspension in the Model Y. The Model S and X have an adaptive air suspension that lowers and raises for certain situations. It does this automatically, but is also extremely customizable, and remembers where you raise or lower your suspension for future drives. Overall, it makes the ride quality much smoother than the Model 3 and Y. Well, at Green the Only leaked that Tesla is at the very least working on an adaptive air suspension for both the Model 3 and the Model Y, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it in the Model Y first. There have been rumors about this for a while, with parts leaking, employees confirming an air suspension, and then Elon saying there are no plans to add an air suspension in the Model 3. However, we know they're still working on it because it keeps popping up in software, and the Model Y actually already has the space for it. Back in April, when Sandy Munro did his Model Y teardown, he said, quote, "I'm going to take a look at this and say, you know what? Maybe what we have here is a potential for moving away from a conventional rear suspension and moving towards something like an air or magnetic suspension system." He said this after looking into the suspension and seeing how easily Tesla could add an air suspension. Seemingly, it was designed to do both, making it an easier transition in the future. Basically, my view on both of these features is that they belong on cars in this price range, but Tesla has to find a balance of cost cutting in certain aspects of the car since batteries have been the main cost. Well, moving forward, we know that Tesla is lowering the cost of batteries and moving to eventually produce their own 4680 cells. In doing so, they'll be able to lower the cost of their cars, but they'll also be able to make their current cars, like the Model Y, more appealing in their price range. At this point, if you compare the Model Y to a gas equivalent car based on features, you're still paying a premium for the Model Y and possibly technically getting less features. Although for me, autopilot and full self-driving are features nobody can compete with. So if they can add the HEPA filter and air suspension to the Model Y, it'll make it even more popular and appealing than it currently is, which is very popular and very appealing. The last leak we got from Green the Only specific to the Model Y is just confirming something we knew was on the way: the third row seats. In the software, he noticed the phrase "third row fold flat," which could refer to the way that the seats actually fold in the rear with an additional switch, or it could just refer to the mere fact that they will fold flat. So those are the Model Y leaks, but at Green the Only also leaked some new information about the Model 3 that we absolutely expect Tesla to add to the Model Y in the near future. He first confirmed the new updates of the Model 3 that we know about, but also added a couple things that either Tesla hasn't told us about or could be coming soon. The first is something people have wanted since the Model 3's release: a heated steering wheel. This is a premium feature that Californians might not miss, but most people in colder climates definitely wish was in the Model 3, and the Model Y for that matter. Apparently, it is in Tesla's software and Tesla is working on it for the Model 3, so it's only a matter of time before we see it in both cars. Previously, the excuse for no heated steering wheels in these cars was the vegan leather, but we all know that it was cost savings, so it'll be interesting to see how Tesla changes the steering wheel to allow for heating. The next Model 3 leak mentioned in software is heated radar that should have twice the range of the current radar system used in Teslas. Tesla focuses their full self-driving on cameras with the assistance of ultrasonic sensors and forward-facing radar. Up to this point, they have been using Continental's ARS 410 radar, which has a range of 525 feet or 160 meters. Tesla has held firm that their cars come with the hardware capable of full self-driving, and that it will come in time with software. As we've seen recently, they have just begun pushing out the full self-driving rewrite beta to a very limited number of customers. In fact, at the time of filming this, we've heard from less than 20 people who are using the update, but it finally adds the ability that Tesla has promised for a while now: auto steer on city streets. We've heard mixed reports since it's in a very early beta, but Elon said it should be coming in full release by the end of the year. So everyone should have the necessary hardware, but it looks like Tesla is planning to move to a 4D sensor from Arb Robotics. Airbnb? The radar system made by this company is called Phoenix, and they describe it saying, quote, Arb's radar chipset solution services real-world driving needs by identifying, assessing, and responding to challenging scenarios from the common to the exceptional with 4D ultra-high resolution real-time imaging. So for whatever reason, Tesla is deciding they need better radar going forward and should be bringing it to the Model 3 soon. And I imagine to all of their cars, including the Model Y, shortly after, since they want all of their cars running the same basic autopilot hardware. On top of this leak from @GreenTheOnly, apparently a source told Electrek that Tesla will be updating the Model 3 fascia along with these new sensors. This could have something to do with this photo that @TeslaPhotographer caught on Twitter of a Model Y being dropped off at Tesla's design studio. It has the camouflage wrap, which is common for auto manufacturers, but much less common for Tesla, so they're clearly hiding something here. My guess is that this is an updated Model Y to be produced in Berlin. Elon has mentioned a completely new design that on the outside will look the same, but will be radically different and include their new 4680 cells along with the unibody design that utilizes the battery pack as the structure of the car. My guess is that it also has the updated 4D sensors in the front, just like they'll be adding to the Model 3 in a matter of time. So if Tesla just did a big Model 3 update, and it has a bunch of features we're expecting in the Model Y, and we've seen a bunch of leaked features we expect in the Model Y, when should you buy it? Should you wait? This time, I'm not sure. With the Model 3, I kinda knew all these updates were gonna be happening at the same time, and it was worth waiting. This time, not so sure. The Model Y only began production and deliveries in March of this year, so Tesla may want to avoid any massive upgrades to the car within the first year. But as I mentioned at the beginning, they also update their cars whenever, and don't worry about yearly update cycles. In their view, it ensures their customers buying their cars get the best product possible, instead of them holding features for a year or so. I can see both sides of that for the customer, either being great or annoying that it can be updated at any given moment, even if you took delivery yesterday. Either way though, you're getting a great product, and these changes, while great and definitely things you'll want to have in your car, won't massively decrease the value of your Model Y if it doesn't have them. However, if you're in it for the long term and waiting for batteries to be cheaper and longer range, it may be worth waiting for the Model Y being produced with the 4680 cells and unibody design. But again, this is for people who seriously are okay with waiting. At Tesla's earnings call, they said, quote, "We are currently building Model Y capacity at Gigafactory Shanghai, Gigafactory Berlin, and Gigafactory Texas, and remain on track to start deliveries from each location in 2021. This is something I think people kind of skipped over. They're currently constructing a Model Y production line to be delivering Model Ys from Texas next year. If they're building a production line, I assume it'll be the best version of the Model Y that they're making there, and possibly these 4680 cells and unibody design they've talked about for Berlin. It wouldn't really make sense for them to create a new factory line for a design they already plan to phase out, but we'll see what happens there. Again, a bunch of small changes in the Model Y seem imminent, and then bigger changes may come with the construction of Giga Texas. So if you're incredibly patient and worried about having this perfect Model Y, it might be worth waiting, but I don't necessarily advise it. Lots of exciting stuff for Tesla, the Model Y, the Model 3, Cybertruck, and full self-driving coming in the future, and I can't wait. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to this channel for lots more videos about everything I just mentioned. Make sure to like this video if you appreciated it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.